5. Coach, make a quick open.
This is my 28th year in college coaching, and I've never experienced anything like what has transpired within our team over the last 6 weeks. The belief, the work, the trust, the love, player to player, coach to coach, player to coach, coach to player, has scarred my heart in a way that I'll never, ever forget. And I'm thankful for over the last 6 weeks, how I believe that it's changed our program forever. In my 28 years as a college coach, every head coach at Xavier has been ultra successful. I worked at camp at Xavier when Pete Gillen was the head coach, and I just finished my freshman year in college. And what has happened in their program over the last 2 weeks is historical. And any AD that has a job opening should hire the undefeated head coach at Xavier, Coach Hayes, because what they've been able to do in a very unique postseason run with an interim coach, I don't think has ever happened in the history of college basketball, except for what happened with Steve Fisher and Coach, I'll think of it in a minute, Coach Frieder. That's the only instance that I know of, so congratulations to them on their win.
Questions for the players first, please.
Travis Brown with the Eagle. Quentin, how much in that last 12 minutes or so was the game plan? Just get the ball in your hands and see what you can make of it.
That was never the game plan. We're a team. It's not just me. We got a bunch of guys, 4 other guys out there, and a bunch of guys on the bench that can make things happen. So the game plan was never get the ball in my hands, but just be smart with the ball, take care of the ball, no turnovers, and then try and get stops on defense and finish with a rebound.
Quentin, obviously not the way you'd want it to end, but just the experience you guys had here in New York and this whole postseason run, and just you know leading up to this game. I mean, a game that you guys probably didn't think you'd be playing in at some point this season. I mean, just what has that been like?
It's been great. One of the more better experiences I've had playing basketball. We've been through a lot this year, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. But through it all, I think we've all learned just how to persevere and remain resilient through everything that has went on. We all have learned something from this year. I think everybody in this room should have learned something from this year. But like I said, it's probably one of the greater experiences I've had playing basketball.
You said everyone learned something. Henry, do you mind sharing just what have you learned about this team and just what have you learned about this year?
I learned that this team never gave up. They never gave up on me. They never gave up on Q. They never gave up, on each other. The staff never gave up on, each other within that realm. I just think, we never gave up through the whole process, throughout the, the first part of the year, throughout the, the little slump that we had, and then to this unbelievable, stretch that we've had at the end of the year. I think, collectively, we trusted each other. We trusted our habits. We trusted our work that we worked all year for, and we never gave up.
Q, what was your vantage point of that Radford game-winning shot there? And it was halfway down, man, it popped back out. Just kind of your emotions when you saw it ran back out.
Well, I just ran the play as we drew it up. When I didn't get it, I kind of just ran down the floor. I think I was at the slide on the three-point line when he shot it, went in and out. And when it didn't go in, I don't know, I just kind of try to stay positive, not let my emotions get the best of me in a time like that. Not hang my head, just try to be a leader for the guys around me. Stay strong. Of course, I would have wanted it to fall, but it didn't go that way, so that's just where we at right now.
Henry, maybe you too, Q. The last play when they scored, were y'all anticipating Nunes, the big guy? Were y'all anticipating them trying to go to him? And was it just one of those things where you did what y'all were supposed to do? He just made a good play?
Yeah, credit to him. He has an unbelievable story. He's an unbelievable person. But, we were playing our regular defense, and, like you said, towards the end, it was an unbelievable play. But credit to Coach Dev on, having a great defensive scheme all year. And even in that last possession, that was a very hard shot, very difficult shot that he hit. So credit to him.
Q, did you see something in the defense that made you feel that you could attack the rim at ease? Because you went to the rim at the end of the game several times.
I just try to put pressure on the rim as much as I can because I know that not only will it help my team, but it'll open up lanes and shots for my team. So I just try to drive. I just try to keep my head down. I just try to stay aggressive. That's really all it was.
For both players, now the season is kind of closed, how would you kind of describe it in its completion with how it ended and the ups and the downs?
Epic, historical. It's something I'll probably remember for a long time, and probably until I pass away, because I've never been through or seen anything happen like this in my life. I've been through a lot of ups and downs, but none like this with a group of guys who are just completely engulfed in everything that is going on around them, from our coaches to our players. I love everybody, and that's just where I'll leave it.
Last question for the players.
Yeah, what this team has meant to me, what it's meant to Q, I know it's been unbelievable. The run that we've had has been unbelievable. And just credit to every single one of the players, from the walk-ons to somebody scoring 30. Everybody in between, to the staff. Just credit to them and thank them.
All right, last question right back there. Let me just shout it.
Henry, just how much does this experience is a springboard for especially the younger guys in this team? Just what's the outlook moving forward?
I don't think right now at the moment I've really kind of come down off this, I would say high that our team has been on, this unbelievable stretch. I know, we'll get back with Coach. We'll take a couple of days off. We'll, let our bodies rest. We'll get back to being A&M students. We'll get back to being, a true Aggie and enjoying, what being Aggie is. But the experience that we've had this year, the time that I've spent with these guys, it's just been unbelievable. You can't, it's not a numerical stat. It's not something that you can write down. It's just, it's in your heart, man. God's been a lot, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fast.
Questions for Coach? Same drill. Raise your hand. We'll get to the mic.
Hey, Coach, I know he said it wasn't the game plan, but how much did you rely on Quentin's leadership and his veteran ability there in those last 12 minutes or so to try to turn the tide on that?
Yeah, I thought he was phenomenal. Not even, and I know you've seen all of them, Travis, but not just the last 12 minutes. He has been the leader in the change in our program. And I don't know that those two guys, you could find two better people to represent what we want our program to be about. And I think the guy's name was, let me think about this, Kent Beck. He was one of the guys that helped develop Facebook. And they were interviewing him like, how did this start and how did it become Facebook? And they were talking about his role in the development of it. and he said, "I'm not a great programmer. I'm a good programmer that has great habits." And I think that's what Q has meant to our program. Even, I mean, I don't know that you could find a more raw version of emotion in how he handled that there. But his response to what has went on in our program over the last 3 years, his habits is what everybody follows. And so there is no selfishness. There is no bad attitude. We're all pulling in the same direction, regardless of minutes played. And I think that's because he has great habits. And those habits are why he's been so successful. This was our, no team in the country has played 11 games in the month of March. This was our 11th game. It's only happened one other time in the history of college basketball. And that was when UConn went on their run with Coach Calhoun in 11. Yeah. So I think his habits is what has changed our program.
Coach, you talked about 11 games in March, has only been done one other time. You've never coached, this many games in a season before. Just how much did you enjoy? I know it was probably exhausting, but just to be with this group of guys this late in March and being on this NIT run.
Yeah, I think I've said it a couple of times. Maybe I've mentioned it to the radio guys over the last month. You can almost say in all of those games in March that we were fighting just in hopes that we could have one more game. Can we get to 9-9 against Mississippi State on Senior Day, 20th win? Can we beat Florida just so that we can fight to see another day? We did that 10 times prior to tonight. And I've never coached 40 games. And obviously a lot of things have to work out in your favor to even get to 40 games. But I think the fight that our guys demonstrated in those 11 games was a very unselfish fight because they were fighting for one another so that we could practice together the next day, so that we could watch film together the next day. And so to be able to play our 11th game on the last day of March with only 6 teams left playing, yeah, I think it's transformational. But similar to what Henry said, you're so emotionally bankrupt, it's hard to articulate those things right now.
Buzz, talking about those 11 games, just how much better is your core group going to be moving forward for going through these battle scars this year?
Yeah, I don't know that you can quantify all of the things that have transpired and how it helps you grow. You can only attain wisdom through experience. And the experience that we've had, Henry is a COVID freshman, Q's a COVID senior. It's hard to know the age or how many years are remaining for anybody anymore, but man, all of the things that we've went through can only help us. And I think that through all of that work, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win more games, but you start at a different level in regards to the experience and their understanding. 290, I think, was our experience, 209. So I don't think it can do anything but help us. Sure.
Yeah, Olin Buchanan, Tech Zags. Buzz,
Our players told me you were a really good football player at A&M, and I mean this sincerely. I didn't know that. Is that true?
no.
Oh, well, they were joking with me. Sorry.
I was pretty good at White Oak High School, but anyway.
I thought they were being serious with me.
Anyway.
They got me.
Coach, you took Quentin out when he got his third foul.
Yeah.
Was it, and I know trying to keep him out of foul trouble, but y'all were up, I think, about 9, and they made a move. How hard was it to not be tempted to put him in? And do you think that move, that it wasn't a coincidence, that's when they made that move when he was out?
A few things on that. Obviously, it's either or. I wanted to see if we could get to 13 minutes left to go in the game before I put him back. We need him on the floor. And I knew that it was going to be a 1-ish, 2-ish possession game. And I knew we need to try to buy as much time as we could to get him back so that he could finish the game. And do you play a guy with 2 fouls? Well, there's a lot of discussion on that. But his third foul that early, and it had happened, at halftime he only had 1. And that 1 that he got was early in the game. And he knows this because we've had this conversation multiple times this year even. Q, I don't like feeling like you're not going to be able to be on the floor at the end of the game. And he picked up foul 2 and foul 3 within whatever that was, 2.5 minute, 3 minute stretch. And so I wanted to try to see if we could get 4 more minutes before we put him back in, because not saying I have all the answers at all, but I anticipated it was going to be the type of game that it ended up being.
Buzz, you say it all the time, difference between winning and losing is so razor thin. And, I mean, what better example than tonight? I mean, Radford's shot was halfway down and popped out. I'm assuming that's what you called up, and just kind of the execution of it and just the emotions when it was so close to going in to win the game.
They have shown, even in tonight's game, they have shown a 2-2-1, and they've shown a 1-2-2. They've shown a full court man. So you never know. And I told our guys coming out of the huddle when Coach called the timeout prior to their last possession, guys, if there's more than 5 seconds, if they score, we're playing. If there's less than 5 seconds and they score, I'm going to call a timeout. And, he hit the shot off the glass, hit the rim off the glass, whichever one happened first. They executed the play perfectly. Q was the first choice, as he mentioned, with a hammer screen by Boots. If they switch that, we're throwing it straight to Boots, and here we go. Our guys are comfortable with that play and the execution of the play, and I thought we did a really good job. Quote shirt 7, Baby was wearing it yesterday from this season, is there's a thin line between winning and losing. And she mentioned that the other day when she was wearing it, and I said, yeah, it's really not thin, it's invisible. And, even you can, don't want to ramble, you can look at any game throughout our season and see how many 1 and 2 possession games we played and how thin that line is. And like I told our guys in that stretch that Olin was talking about, guys, they're playing for the same championship we're playing for too, right? And so we can't think, because of what had transpired over the last 4, 5, 8 games, that the SEC tournament or even on the way to here, that the game we're going to play from ahead the whole time. This is the first time we've had a 1 or 2 possession game in a while since Florida, I think. And, it's an invisible line. Thank you, guys. Thank you.